Now it's a podcast.
You know what time it is then?
What time is it?
Should probably roll the intro. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Zach.
And my name is Nick.
This is a very special edition of Careless Opinion.
Is it the one where we drink alcohol beforehand?
No, that's normal. Speaking of alcohol,
yeah.
the only way to start a good podcast, what you drinking?
I am drinking a really good beer. It's called Space Dust. I believe it's by Lacian. Don't quote me. But yeah, it's Stacey. It's an IPA. What are you drinking, Sir Zachary?
Corona.
It's classic.
I really wanted Corona again. I got a kick out of it. As you guys noticed, you didn't hear the can opening this time.
Yeah.
That's
What's
because,
up with that, Zach?
Well, it's because we just decided we didn't want to do the can opening because we're out of fresh cans.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's a very special edition of Careless Opinion.
Special.
Nick, what's the theme there say?
It says True
Yep.
Crime. True
Close
crime.
enough.
True crime. Yeah.
There
we
it
go.
is.
There it is.
So what makes us so special is this is our first series podcast.
Woo.
The way this is going to work is I am a reigning champion of knowing way too much crap about true crime.
He's the king.
And so Nick will be asking me questions about his choice of serial killer or crime. So it's one topic per, and he's going to ask me, and I'm going to just unload all the information. I'm going to dump all this information out. Nick's going to interject and ask all the questions, and he's going to learn a thing or two.
I'm going to learn something. You're going to learn me something.
I'm going to learn you a little something, and then hopefully you guys will get learned a little something today by us, or me.
Mostly you.
Me,
Yeah.
It's me. So this is it. This is the first real big series podcast for true crime. Nick, choose your fighter.
All right.
Who you want to learn about today, buddy?
Ready Player One. So, we were talking a little bit before this podcast about different killers, if you will.
Yeah.
And one that I have no knowledge about. Who the heck is Bundy?
Ted Bundy. So
Ted Bundy?
okay, so here's the
Who
thing.
the heck is that?
Here's the thing about this whole podcast. Nick is genuinely serious. He has no idea. You have no clue who Ted Bundy is.
I have no.
You've just like
I know un poco, like very little.
You've heard like some name in passing, and you know like a name, and he was a bad dude,
He's
and
a
that's
bad
it,
guy.
or like
Yeah, he was a bad. Like Batman fought him or something.
It's not Heath Ledger, dude.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's not Heath Ledger.
I need to rethink
It's
my
not the
life.
Joker.
Okay.
So you want to do Bundy? That's it. That is
I know
your
that
topic today.
I know that he killed people and he had a car. That's what I know.
You're right, and that is your topic of the day. Good choice. I'd love me some shit like this. Okay.
Let's go.
You just want to start from the beginning? You want
Start
to know,
from the
like,
very tippity top.
like when he was born and all that bull crap? Because I know this information.
If you know it,
I'm a nerd.
go ahead and share it. Yeah, you nerd.
Yeah, he was born in, I know it was November, I think it was 1946.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it's 1946.
Oh, he's old.
And I am positive it's November. And I know he died in 89. He was executed in the state of Florida, and I think he died at like 42.
So I guess Florida really is where America goes to die.
That godless state. So yeah, there's his birth, there's his death.
Okay.
What else do you want to know? I mean, like,
What exactly did he do? If he's a serial killer, who did he target, and why did he target them? It's a lot of
that
questions.
is a loaded question that I'm ready to answer, baby.
Go ahead.
He's a serial killer,
Okay.
obviously. He also raped and murdered and kidnapped loads of people. Only women, though.
Okay.
There were no confirmed male victims
That we know of.
that we know of. And you'll find out why I say that we know of in a moment.
Okay.
So his demographic was like skinnier women, like blonde, dirty brown hair. So like something like that was his actual demographic. And the reason I say that we know of about the man thing is because he admitted to 30.
Okay,
It
it's
is
a lot.
speculated it's in the hundreds.
Speculated in the
It's
hundreds.
speculated it's somewhere in like the low 100 range.
Oh my goodness.
So he was active in the 70s, I believe. Yeah, it was the 70s. What am I saying? I believe. Duh. And it was in 7 different states, my dude.
7.
7. I don't know all of them.
Okay,
I know most of
that
them.
you knew
I
what
know
my
most
question
of
was
them.
going to be.
I
But
know
yeah,
most
okay.
of them. I think I know Colorado, I know Washington, I know Florida. Those are the 3 big ones.
Okay.
I think California. I know he came through Georgia, but he didn't kill anybody that we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
So that's I know for sure Colorado, Florida, California, and Washington. I know that for sure. He was active from like 74 to 78.
Okay.
So
That's a long time. 4 years is a long time.
4-year span, my dude. So, God, there's so much to unpack with Ted Bundy. We'll just start in the beginning. So, he had a girlfriend. Her name was Elizabeth, like, someone with an H that I can't pronounce, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Straight up.
That's fair.
He called her Beth, and they met at a bar. Beth had a kid, or Liz. No, I called her Liz, not Beth. Sorry. She had a kid. She came out, so he was like, he's a super loving, nice dude.
Really?
Yeah. She said he was amazing. Treated the daughter super well. While they were dating, he was going to the University of Washington, and he came out with a psychology degree, and he was practicing law.
Wow.
A lot of potential there.
Yeah, that's
What is
actually
it?
kind of scary if you think about it.
Yeah, the serial killer has a psychology
The degree
Like
and knows law. Like,
the worst person who needs a solid
oh my
psychology
goodness.
degree. The one dude you don't want, like, to have one, has one.
Has one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Oh, say so. So, good God. His first capture, I say first for a reason, he was captured in 1977. Yeah. He was captured in 77. And he escaped
Okay.
in 77. And he escaped the courthouse. He was in the middle of a case for, I think, kidnapping.
Okay.
Is what it was. Homeboy just took a window, jumped out the second floor.
Just jumped.
Just jumped.
He dabbed out.
And he ran into the Colorado mountains and was lost for like 6-7 days.
6 or 7 days?
Then they caught him again. Easy as that.
How'd they find him?
He like ended up like wandering down from the mountains. He had no food or water. He was just pretty much dying up there.
Okay.
So he came down and they're like, that's Ted Bundy. Get him. He was sentenced to, I think, like 15 years in prison. He served a marvelous, like, few months. I think, like 3, 4, maybe?
Okay.
No, probably more. No, it was like 3 or 4. Yeah, I'm right. And he escaped again.
He escaped again.
There was
How bad... Oh, I'm sorry to interject. How bad do you have to be at your job to let someone escape
Twice.
again? Yeah.
Fucking twice.
Twice. How... Dude,
Right.
that's a staffing issue. If
So
I've
the
ever-
first time he escaped is because he was really charismatic and he convinced the like
He
judge.
convinced the window to just break.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it didn't break. It was an open window. He
Oh my
convinced
goodness.
the judge and everybody that he was going to do his own counsel, and they gave him an office.
They gave him an...
They gave this dude an office in the courthouse, and they were at a recess. He was in the office, and he told the cop that was like watching him, "Yeah, I have a phone call that's private." The cop walked away, and he jumped out a second-story window.
What?
Hey man.
Oh my
when
goodness.
you're charismatic. It's easy as that. Now the second time he escaped, he's in jail,
Oh my god.
and there was like a little like I think it was like a vent in his cell, and he cut through it.
He cut through the
It was like loose, and he like realized it was drywall, and he cut around it over a few month period, climbed out, and escaped
He
to
Shawshanked it.
Florida.
To Florida. Where was he at? Was he in like Colorado? And
Yeah,
then
this
he
was
went
in,
to...
this was in Colorado. He escaped, stole a car, and made it to Florida.
How bad at your job do you have to be to let that happen? I'm sorry.
Oh no, pretty
Continue.
bad. Oh, pretty bad.
to Florida.
Uh-huh.
Again, where America goes to die. Continue.
That's where America goes to die. So, that happens. Probably big nose. Big nose on that, you know.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great.
So what did he do in Florida then? Because he had to, like, if you escape somewhere to Florida, like, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna play it safe. No. If you're a serial killer, you're looking for cereal to kill.
Facts.
What did he do?
You were looking for all the Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
So.
They're always after his Lucky Charms.
Yeah, so this is where it's going to get real dark. The story's about to take a nice dark turn for you.
Okay.
I mean, it was already pretty dark.
It's very dark.
So, at this point, he had only been, like, going after, like, not young girls, but, like, 19, 20. College girls was kind of his demographic. It was easy for him because he, you know, was going to college bars and picking up women. He was in Washington and picked up a bunch of women and killed some there on a lake. Lake Sammamish. He killed a bunch of women there. His go-to there was he actually would walk up to them in a fake cast.
Okay.
And be like, "Hi, will you please help me unload my boat?" And this is the 70s. Everyone's like, "Yeah, man." So like, "Oh yeah, totally." And he'd walk these women to his car and he'd bash them over the head with a tire iron.
Oh.
And take them to the woods, kill them, walk back out, do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Big yikes. So he makes it to Florida. This is where things get big. So and I only know this because the headline was like baffling. I wasn't alive during this, but I've read way too much about the case. It was called the Chi Omega break-in. He went to a sorority house. It was the Chi Omega sorority house. There were 4 girls there. He bludgeoned 2 of them and raped them to a point that they were almost unrecognizable.
Oh.
And then he bludgeoned, raped, and then re-bludgeoned to kill the other 2.
Oh.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, a 9-year-old girl went missing. And she turned up dead. And
what kind of sick weirdo
goes after a 9-year-old?
goes after a 9-year-old? That's
sick fuck right there.
Yeah.
That's sick fuck goes after
terrible.
a 9-year-old. It's disgusting. I know. So, Ted Bundy gets pulled over one night because he's driving a stolen vehicle.
Well, oh my... Okay, you're a serial killer. You know they're looking for you. Why do you steal a car?
I don't know.
Like, logic 101. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm just thinking out loud.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I totally get it, man.
Steals a car. Oh my god.
I know. Steals a car. He's an idiot.
Oh my god.
Big old idiot. So he, when he's in Florida, he gets pulled over, stealing a car, whatever. When they pull him over, they're like, "Hey man, what you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just driving home." They're like, "So what's your name?" And he gave them a fake name. I wish I could tell you what it was. I think it was like, I might know it actually. Hold on. I do know it. It's Richard. I don't know the last name.
Okay.
I can't tell you that. And the only reason I don't know the last name is because I know it's something close to Bundy. And I guarantee to you I'll say something completely wrong. But I know the first name was Richard. I can almost guarantee it. And here's my one for the video. At me. He went by Richard something. Get it. Hey, Nick, you know what that was? One for the video.
One for the video.
I got it. Anyway. At me. So he gets pulled over for having a stolen car. And they pull him into jail. And he has a bunch of stolen credit cards on him and stuff. And they're like,
Okay.
"Your name's not Richard. We know that. We know you're full of it. Who are you?" He's like, "My name's Richard." They're like, "Let's try this again. Who are you?" And I think they held him for like 2-3 days. Not long. And then finally he was just like, "I'm Ted Bundy."
Oh.
And
He just did it. He just blurted it out.
just said it. He just said it. "I'm Ted Bundy." And that was a big, oh no. So, once that all went down, things got real big in Florida. Things got crazy in a big way in Florida.
Yeah, if I was a cop and I was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And like, even if he's behind bars, he's like, "I'm Ted Bundy." Like, and you know his track record, I'd be terrified. Absolutely terrified.
I would be too. That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
that's like, I'm gonna leave my badge here. I'm retiring.
I give up.
Yeah, like I don't want to die.
Right. So he's in Florida. They finally get his name out of him. They're finally like, oh, we got the guy who escaped Colorado custody, and he's a serial killer. So think about that for a second. You're the sheriff in Florida. You're up for re-election, by the way.
Oh,
And suddenly, you have in your lap
a gold mine.
Theodore
Yeah.
Robert Bundy. Ted Bundy is sitting in your lap, and you're like, holy shit.
I'd be both excited and terrified. Just excited because you hit like a literal gold mine, and terrified because what happens if he breaks out again for the third time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? So, they're going through all the motions with Ted Bundy, and they decide, all right, we're sending him to trial for the murder of both of these women in the Omega house, for the bludgeoning of the other two, the rape of the other two, and the kidnap, rape, and murder of a 9-year-old. And we're going to get him on all of it. Florida's going to get him on all of it. So, they have this big press conference. They walk Ted Bundy down these steps in front of all these cameras, and he's all pissy, and he's making comments. He's like, oh, what do you got there in your hand? To the sheriff, who I wish I knew the name of. I'm sorry, I don't, guys. If you know it, please write it. I'm so sorry, I don't know. I just can't remember it. And so, oh, this is going down, and the sheriff's like, oh, what I have here is, a letter about you going to court. And Ted Bundy is like, I'll plead innocent right now. Looks directly at the camera, smiles, hand risen. That picture I showed you of him with his hand up
Yeah.
in the jumpsuit, that's from that.
Oh,
So it was a little quick thing. They put him back in a cell, and the trial begins, I think it was like a year later. So he's apprehended in 1978 officially. And I think the trial started like a year later, and or maybe like 6 months later, something like that. It took a while though, because it's a capital murder trial.
yeah.
So the trial was crazy. First week of trial, Ted Bundy requests that he gets all new counsel because all of his counsel is incompetent, and says that in open court. His main trial guy, so his lawyer stands up and says, "You don't need to have us removed. I'm going to leave this case." The judge tells him to sit down, and then they call for a recess, and the judge tells him, "You're not leaving this case. You have to stay. I'm sorry. It's the law. You're staying, Ted. I can't just get rid of people and give you brand new people. I don't know how they did it when you were in Colorado, but you're in Florida. You can represent yourself if you want, though." So Ted starts representing himself. Remember, he's a psychology student and was practicing law. Very, very bright. So he's not winning the trial, but he is crushing it a little bit. He's crushing it. But then the damning evidence comes out. This is what I think made Ted Bundy lose this trial. Right before it all started, the sheriff who was up for re-election, hats off to him, who had Ted Bundy, took him out of his cell at midnight, drove him to a little dentist place, and they took castings of his teeth.
Oh.
And it's because the two victims that were murdered by him in the Chi Omega house had bite marks on them. He sat Ted Bundy down. He said, "Ted, I'm going to take moldings of your teeth because I guarantee you your bite marks will match the bite marks on these victims," and showed the photos of them.
Oh.
Which Ted Bundy apparently was like, "You're more than welcome to do that, but it's not going to work." And they took his moldings. And that damned him in the trial because they matched perfectly.
Wow.
Perfectly.
Wow.
So, Ted Bundy's representing himself. He has himself a new girlfriend now.
Okay.
Liz has left him because of all this, and he has a new girlfriend named Carol Boone. So, he calls Carol Boone to the stand as a witness, as a character witness. And as a way to try to win some brownie points back, to be like, would you really kill a man who just did this? He proposed to her while she's sitting there in the witness booth.
Wow.
And in the state of Florida, if you propose to somebody When that's going down and there's a judge present, you are automatically married without a ceremony. In the state of Florida at the time, that was a thing.
Wow.
So he instant marries her right there in front of everybody. So it's kind of like that whole, would you really kill a man that just got married? Who wants to start a life?
Talk about a smooth criminal. Oh my god.
Oh my god. We'll talk about this movie. You've been hit by, you've been struck by Ted Bundy. Anyway, so easy to make that comment. Oh my god. So, he loses the trial. He's found guilty on all counts. So remember, rape and murder and kidnapping of a 9-year-old, the bludgeoning of 2 other women. That's we're at so yeah, the bludgeoning of 2 women, rape, kidnapping, and murder of a 9-year-old. We're 5. The rape of 2 other women, of the same 2 women he bludgeoned, and the rape and murder of 2 other women. That is 11 charges, all punishable at the time in Florida, anywhere at minimum of 15 years to life. Plus, it's also possible to get the death penalty for those.
Oh my gosh.
He got the death penalty rained down on every single fucking charge.
Good.
Yeah, no shit. So, then he has to go stand trial in Colorado. Loses that. He loses those.
So you went on trial in Florida, and then again, was it the same accounts in Colorado as Florida, or they?
It was all the murders in Colorado that he was originally on trial for, and the kidnappings.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. I blinked. Yeah,
You're good. So, he's got to go there. Loses on all those. But, since he was caught and found guilty first in Florida, he has to go stay in Florida for the death penalty.
Oh,
so they give him the death penalty. Shortly after this, guess who gets pregnant? Carol fucking Boone.
Oh my gosh.
So Carol Bundy essentially gets pregnant. Ted Bundy has a kid. Her name is Ruby Bundy. She is a whole person. She was in hiding for a very long time, but recently, in the last, and I say recently as in the last like 3-4 months.
Oh.
She has made an Instagram and is promoting it as, yes, I am the daughter of Ted Bundy, and wants to actually go on the news and discuss things. Because she got to meet him when he was behind bars. She wants to talk. She wants to give her side of the story.
Right.
She was like a kid, like a baby. And there's pictures of him like holding her. Dude. So Ted Bundy's executed, I think in like 1989 or 1990 in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Boom. Dead. Gone. Here's what's so crazy about the execution. Which most of the time it's, it's kind of silent normally. Here's your date, silent, it's done. Since it was such a big deal, there were like hundreds of people outside of the prison holding up like burn Bundy burn signs and like time to fry. They made t-shirts.
Wow.
Of Ted Bundy, like crudely drawn photos of Ted Bundy on the like death chair. I'm just gonna call it the death chair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Like there's pictures of him on it. You can buy those shirts.
Really?
People produce them still. I want one so bad I can't see straight. You have no idea how badly I want one. Anyway.
What was did he get a last meal? Or
I don't know. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I wonder what his last meal was.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what would you choose? Jesus.
Probably a Zaxby's salad.
A Bible. Just give me a Bible. I'll eat it.
Give you
I'm just gonna eat a Bible. Really get God on my side there.
Oh my goodness.
Like if I got the death penalty, I did something bad. Like I want a little. Sorry, this podcast's been a little dark. I didn't make a joke.
Yeah.
Podcast was a little dark.
We're sorry.
Had to make the joke. Anyway, so what else do you want to know, man? Ask away. You have time to ask me questions about good old Ted Bundy, man.
Yeah, I guess one of my big questions would be what was his last meal if he got one, because a sick psycho like that must have had like a crazy request, because I've heard about the guy that like did an olive with the pit still in it, and that was like his last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so That would be my main one.
There was some guy who just requested a child. Straight. He just went, a child. They were like, no.
Oh
Probably
my
not, but...
God.
Ooh, I do know other things about Ted Bundy I can tell you that are kind of like, wow.
Okay,
So,
go.
Like I told you, he admitted to 30 murders.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why he admitted to them, though.
Oh.
So he was being interviewed to build a profile on serial killers. He was helping build the first profile on serial killers. And he was doing an excellent job. And then they were like, here's your execution date. You got like 3 months. Fucko. And I think it was like 3 days before his execution. Like 3 days. He started admitting to everything. And saying, like, I'm an asset. You can keep me alive. I can help you catch serial killers because I'm a serial killer. Here's all the people I murdered, and here's how I did it. And he was giving them locations of heads that were detached from bodies that he had cut off.
So is that how he, like, mainly killed people, was decapitation? Or
No, he just normally just killed them.
Oh.
Decapitation was something he, like, had explained, like, he had, like, played with a little bit. But yeah, like, he gave these locations, and they were accurate. After his, like, death, they went, and holy crap, they found heads detached from bodies and bodies that they had not heard, that they had not known about yet.
So after he had admitted to about 30, when he started bringing up new, I guess, people, was that included in the 30, or did the count start rising? And do you think that's where they started thinking, okay, it must be in the hundreds now?
They believed it was in the 30s, or the ones he was admitting to was in that 30, because where the hundreds came from is he talked about it, and he talked about he had like very specific dumping grounds, and they started finding a lot more bodies than he had let on were there.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And then, so yeah, he pretty much called and pleaded, like, I'm an asset, I did all these things, I can help you, blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, we don't care.
Right.
Like, you're a piece of shit. I personally, while I'm 100% for the death penalty, depending on the circumstance, of course, someone like Ted Bundy, yeah, you should fry that fucker.
Yeah.
You should French fry that guy real quick. Easy as that. But also in that, because Ted Bundy was really America's, not first serial killer, but like that whole patent idea of the term serial killer. I mean, there were cameras in the courtrooms with Ted Bundy. It was the first actual recorded trial of a capital murder case ever. That's why we have like cameras in courtrooms today.
Okay.
You can watch his trial on fucking YouTube.
I'll probably check that out later tonight.
You should. It's sick. And I mean sick as in like gross. Like it's disgusting. It's also kind of cool.
Okay.
Not what he did, but it's just cool to be like, wow, I can witness this. It's like, I mean, it's really dope. As well as this will be the last part of this whole thing for the Ted Bundy True Crime podcast.
Okay.
When Ted Bundy lost everything and was told you're gonna be killed, you saw your death penalty charges, the judge said, I find these acts extremely wicked, vile, and shocking. Followed up shortly with, it is a shame to see what's happened here because you're very bright, and I would have loved to have you practice in my court, but you went a wrong way. And despite what has been said, I hold no ill will towards you, and good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Think about that. Let that stew in the old noggin for a sec, man. It's crazy, right?
That's insane.
Yeah. There you go, Ted Bundy.
Wow.
Any last minute questions before I do my horrible outro?
I think that's it. I think you've answered all that you could. I'm going to do some more research on this because that's actually really fascinating. I'm probably going to watch, big shout out to YouTube.
For sure.
I'm probably going to watch that because I can't believe they got that on camera, and I have not seen that. That's insane. But yeah, I think that's That's
Sure.
all the questions I have, and you answered them phenomenally.
Well,
so
thanks, man. I'm happy that we're starting the True Crimes podcast now. If anyone who's interested in true crimes, by the way, guys, some great places to look into, aside from our channel for our true crime podcast that we'll be doing. Check out Last Podcast on the Left. It's one of my favorite podcasts. They're sick. They're so sick. They talk about this kind of stuff all the time. If you're a female and you love makeup, check out Bailey Syrian on YouTube. She does Manic Murder Mondays. My girlfriend is obsessed. And she talks about, like, murder cases and true crime.
oh, that's cool.
Really cool things to look into. And of course, now that we've come to about 30 minutes, don't you dare leave this channel without liking it,
Commenting,
subscribing,
sharing,
caring,
clicking that bell icon so you get notified when we upload.
and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, which you can do right now. Once you're done with this video and you've liked and subscribed it and all that fun stuff, just like Nick said to do, you can go to the top of our channel up there where the little banner is. There's a little Instagram icon. Click that. It takes you to Instagram. Wham, bam, Bob's your uncle. You can follow us on Instagram.
Woo!
And that's it. And we will see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Podcast.